Speaking of college, I wanted to talk about because and we've talked about it before. What is your degree in?
So it's actually in journalism, and then I minored in management. But within journalism, I did advertising, like a
Nice.
specific focus in strategic communication.
Do you remember, is there any big takeaways or something huge that you learned in college that you still apply today, or
Oh,
just kind of a
a-
general grasp?
Absolutely, dude. I mean, fucking, I had some crazy like this one professor, Jennifer Johnson. She was like a crazy creative who worked at all these ad agencies, and she totally like taught my brain how to like think creatively, like creatively and strategically to
Oh,
like come up with the right solution that's gonna like hit that sweet spot.
yeah.
Um, I read tons. I chose the perfect degree, man. I mean, I learned so much of like how, yeah, how to like properly think creative, I guess, and like do it in a strategic way. And then minoring management was huge because I learned all the basics of like business management, entrepreneurship. It's
Yep.
like business statistics, accounting, like everything you really need to run a business. I took a class on.
Yeah.
So I use everything. I not everything, but
A
yeah, man.
lot.
Yeah, a lot for
That's
sure.
interesting.
A lot of people get through college like, college is a fucking waste. You don't need it. And I'm like, you probably just chose a shitty degree.
For
You know,
real. Yeah.
fucking you gotta, and that's tough, man. Like you don't really have like you go into college and you don't know what to do. You don't know what you're 18 years old. You don't know what you want to do with your life. You know
For
what I mean?
real.
Like, and you just kind of gotta guess. And it's really tough. Like I had a bunch of friends who, you know, did like followed a degree path for 3 years, 3.5 years, and then they got to the end of it and they're like, I actually hate this.
Yeah.
And they
That's
just have to kind
common.
of start all over. And I think there's probably a lot of people who go to college and graduate and have a lot of school like student debt and don't actually have passion for what they did. You know,
And they're just
so
stuck, dude.
yeah. Only thing I would say is just if you're in that position, just try and yeah, think about what you are passionate about. Think about what you genuinely do want to do, like regardless of the money. You know, I saw a lot of people who were like, oh, like I'm gonna get this, so I'm gonna go to this or study this thing. Cause like really learning is great. Like however you're gonna learn. Like if you don't want to go to college, there's a lot of other ways to learn a
Huge. Yeah.
skill or a craft,
Yep.
trade school, or even just like learning online.
YouTube
Uh,
University, man. That shit's real.
but yeah, just just don't do it for the money. Try and think about what you actually want to do because the money will come. And
Yeah.
if you like what you're doing, then you'll fucking be stoked. Like it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter. Like, you'll have enough money to get by. You don't need that much money to be happy.
For
So
real. I think there's like a study about once you pass 70K, I think is the number that was in the study, but happiness increases like as you go from 30K to 40K to 50K to 60K. And then once you make 70K a year, every amount above that, you're not getting any happier. Like you have your
it's
basic
it's
needs met, you know?
exactly. I think it's $72,900 actually.
So you know exactly what I'm
I
talking
know
about.
that
Yeah.
exact study, and
Yeah.
it's fucking yeah. There's
It's
some shit to
interesting.
that for sure.
I want to touch on the teaching, or you said Jennifer Johnson. Shout out JJ, right? Jessica
Mhm.
Johnson, whatever her name. Sorry.
Jennifer Johnson, good memory.
She taught you how to think creatively. If you could summarize in a nutshell how to think creatively, give me a 2-minute breakdown of what exactly she taught you, or what you would
Uh,
teach somebody now on how to think creatively and strategically.
so man, I mean, she just broke down like so like within like a creative role, there's like a brand who has like a business goal, right?
Hmm.
And then there's like a whole breakdown of like what does the advertiser need, or what does the consumer need? What is the consumer like looking for? I'm doing a terrible job of explaining this.
Don't be
Really, I guess
critical.
the
Just do it. Just talk.
fuck, man. Uh, I pull up my glass nose. I still got them. But yeah, they're like the 5 C's of a creative brief. So it's all based on the consumer.
Okay.
So really, like I focused a lot on like account planning, which is like the actual strategic like onboarding process of like managing a creative. You know what I mean?
Okay.
To like to get them to get the right result that's going to accomplish your business goals. And then there's like the creative side of it, which is figuring out like exactly who the consumer is. So like a big part of that is we dive deep into like writing consumer profiles. So we're like, all right, like if you're marketing a product, you don't just like market to everyone. Like that's what businesses always do. They're like, oh, we're a product for everyone. Like Kanade's for everyone. Like, no, it's not. Like
Yes.
this thing is for a specific person. Who is that person? You're not talking to a group of people anymore. You're talking to one person. All right, this is Bob. Bob wakes up at 7 a.m. He listens to this radio station. He shops at this grocery store to prepare this for breakfast, or maybe he eats out for every day for breakfast. You know, on it, he drives this type of car. You know, he fucking makes this amount of money. Like, you break down their entire day and who exactly this person is, and you figure out how to reach that person.
Right.
And as a creative, and like in advertising, if you can figure out how to reach that single person, you end up reaching a fuckload of those people, and you hit them with the perfect information.
Yes.
So like once you figure out who the consumer is, then you can kind of break it down and go back to like, all right, well, what creative do we need to hit them with, and when do we need to hit them with, and where? So now that we know that they listen to this radio station, or they watch this TV channel, or they, you know what I mean, whether they use Spotify, or they listen to music on YouTube, or, you know, you can kind of break down like, all right, now we know we need to do Google ads, YouTube focused, 15-second pre-roll ad, and that pre-roll ad is going to have this on it, you know, and then you go through that process of like developing that actual creative spot, develop, you know, 3 different versions of it, and then kind of spit it out. You know, you brainstorm, give it back to the client, figure out what they want, like which one they're leaning towards.
Yeah.
And just go from there.
And then split like, test it and see what works and double down on it. Yeah,
exactly. You know, and I do like digital marketing nowadays. I do like paid Meta and Google ads. So like planning full advertising campaigns and stuff like that.
That's
so dope. I do that shit all the time of like getting the right creative, like outlining the creative, telling the creative team what to shoot, how to shoot it, what format it needs to be in, to get it back to send on which platform to which person.
Sick.
And if you can kind of figure out that whole process, you can sell shit.
Yeah.
Anything to anyone, you know?
I love that. You mentioned the 5 C's. Do you remember what the 5 C's are?
Fuck.
Pop quiz. Let's go back to college. What are the 5 C's?
Dude, 5 C's. I got them in my Dropbox, dude. I still got
I want to Google the 5 C's of marketing.
Dude.
Context, customers, competitors, collaborators, and company. That could be it.
Sounds almost like it, kind of. Think that there's actually multiple.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different 5 C's.
Yeah.
People love lists and shit. Whatever, let's move on.
Oh, no, let's get it, dude. This is
let's figure out the 5 C's.
All right, I got it. Safari pedals, 5 C's. So the Safari pedals, my first creative project I actually used my college degree for. I did the marketing plan. I did fucking hundreds of hours of research on plastic BMX pedals, figuring out exactly what the consumer wanted, what they were scared of, and all this shit. And I did projects for these classes for the actual pedals.
Oh, so like you're coming out with your signature pedal while you're in college still, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
That was really crazy. They like everyone, all my professors were like, this is so crazy. We never like teach people who can like use a real brand and like a real product as a thing.
Actually implement it right away.
So it is category. So for Safari pedals, category BMX pedals. Culture. Okay. I wrote, when BMX riders crash, their bike tumbles and critical pedal pins grind off, resulting in a decrease in foot grip. Plastic pedals are seen as a disposable product, but they need to be durable enough to use for the next attempt. Content, 3rd C. Strengths. This is the first BMX pedal on the market with a high quality of pins, along with their unique pin placement. Weaknesses. The market may be reluctant to accept such a unique product due to its odd form, which was true because they kind of look kind of crazy if you don't fuck with them. The 4th C is consumer. So this is where like all that consumer insight goes in. The consumer doesn't have the income to be consistently buying BMX parts. When they purchase a product, they want to know it will serve its intended purpose to be durable enough to withstand the abuse of 10 or more BMX sessions. Along the epic journey BMX provides, the consumer accepts that their plastic pedals are going to get demolished when they ride. They just want the product to function as it should for as long as possible.
Nice.
Core conflict.
That's the 5th? Core conflict?
Oh, I guess, yeah. I guess so. I have 6 on here. Oh, yeah. That's the 5th. Core conflict. Consumers want their pedals to grip their feet for as many BMX sessions as possible, but fear that extra pins on the pedal will bring extra pain to their shins. And then I have the core of the idea, which is like kind of just like, I think that's like the culminating thing of the project, not a part of the 5Cs. And the question is, can consumers accept that BSD Safari pedals will bring them the best bang for their buck available on the market?
Sick.
So yeah, that was fucking, yeah, I'm glad I could pull it up right now.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
great,
I
dude.
did that whole thing and planned out all the marketing for it and everything. And they ended up, I had like a marketing goal and everything to outsell Odyssey Twisted pedals, and they did.
Fuck yeah. I didn't know that. They did.
First order, yeah, they became like the #1 highest selling pedal in the market. Like
No shit. Good for you. I was just, my follow-up question was like, how did the Safari pedals do? It sounds like they did good. I love that.
The Safari, but the royalties from the Safari pedals literally paid for my whole entire BMX travels. Like anything you saw from me for like 6-7 years, it was just from that. Like I had no fucking money after school, and I just like had the royalties from
lived off your pedals.
From the shit that I learned to like
Yes,
make products. And I was like, fuck yeah, college works. You know what I mean?
College works. Reached the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed that clip. If you want to support me and the podcast, just subscribe and share the show with your friends. The full episode is in the description, so if you haven't, go check that out. It's also available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and wherever you listen to podcasts. And the goal is just to grow. So if you could share the show with your BMX homies, that'd be dope. If anybody that you know that is a BMX nerd and would enjoy this podcast, do me that favor, and we'll keep all these clips coming and one episode every week. So I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.